Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever spent an entire weekend on a massive decluttering spree, only to find your home slowly but surely reverting to chaos within a few weeks? You're not alone. Today, we're moving beyond the one-time purge. We're tackling the real challenge: how to maintain a clutter-free home for good. This isn't about achieving sterile perfection. It's about creating a peaceful, functional sanctuary that supports you, even when life gets incredibly busy. The secret isn't in grand, exhausting overhauls. It's in building small, sustainable habits that work behind the scenes to keep clutter at bay. Think of it as creating an immune system for your home. So, if you're ready to stop fighting a losing battle with clutter and start enjoying your space more, you're in the right place. I'm going to share 5 core habits, plus some bonus strategies that are practical, easy to implement, and designed for real busy lives. Let's get started. Our first habit is a non-negotiable classic, the one in, one out rule. It's beautifully simple. Every time a new item comes into your home, a similar item must go out. This applies to everything. You buy a new pair of jeans, an old pair gets donated. You receive a new coffee mug as a gift. You let go of the one at the back of the cabinet that you never use. This single rule is your frontline defense against the slow, silent creep of clutter. It forces a conscious evaluation of what you own and prevents your closets, drawers, and shelves from reaching their breaking point. It transforms you from a passive accumulator into an active curator of your own space. Habit number 2 is to give everything a designated home. Clutter is often just a result of postponed decisions. When items don't have a logical, permanent place to live, they end up on the first available flat surface: the kitchen counter, the dining table, the floor. To combat this, you need to assign a specific spot for everything. Think in zones. Your entryway should have hooks for keys and a sorter for mail. In the living room, use a basket for remotes and a box for charging cables. In the kitchen, drawer organizers are your best friend. When everything has a home, tidying up isn't a puzzle you have to solve. It becomes a quick, automatic process of simply returning things to where they belong. Next up, habit 3, the daily 10-minute reset. This might be the most transformative habit of all. Before you wind down for the night, set a timer for just 10 minutes and do a quick closing shift for your home. This isn't deep cleaning, it's a power tidy. You walk through your main living areas and reset them. Put the cushions back on the sofa, fold the blanket, take any stray cups to the kitchen, wipe down the counters, and put away the mail. 10 minutes might not sound like much, but it's amazing what you can accomplish. It prevents the small messes from snowballing into overwhelming chaos. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. You'll be amazed at how much lighter and more motivating it feels to wake up to a tidy space instead of yesterday's mess. Habit 4 is about stopping clutter before it even enters your front door. Be a mindful consumer. So much of our clutter comes from impulse buys, things we thought we wanted in the moment, but that don't truly add value to our lives. Before you buy something, pause and ask yourself a few key questions. Do I truly need this? Where will it live in my home? Does it align with the life I want to live? A great tactic is to implement a 24-hour or even a 7-day waiting period for non-essential purchases. If you still want it after that time has passed, you can be more confident it's a considered choice, not an impulse. This not only keeps your home clearer, but it also saves you a significant amount of money. Our 5th and final core habit is the seasonal refresh. Even with the best daily habits, things can accumulate. That's why scheduling a deeper declutter session every 3-4 months is crucial for long-term maintenance. You can tie this to the changing seasons. As you pull out your winter clothes, Go through them and let go of anything you didn't wear last season. When spring arrives, tackle the garage or your paperwork. Use these sessions to go through one or two problem areas: the medicine cabinet, the junk drawer, the pantry. Ask the ultimate questions. Do I use this? Do I love this? Does it serve a purpose in my life right now? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to let it go. Now for a bonus tip that's essential in our modern world. Apply these principles to your digital life. Digital clutter: a chaotic desktop, a full inbox, a phone clogged with unused apps can create just as much mental stress as physical clutter. Take 15 minutes each week to do a digital reset. Unsubscribe from email newsletters you never read. Organize your computer files into a simple folder system. Delete photos and apps from your phone that you no longer need. A clear digital workspace fosters a clear mind. And if you live with family, especially children, remember that maintaining order is a team sport. Get everyone involved. Make tidying a game. Use simple labeled bins for toys and consistently model the behavior you want to see. When everyone understands that putting things back in their home is just a normal part of finishing an activity, the burden doesn't fall on one person. So there you have it. By combining the one in one out rule, giving everything a home, doing a daily reset, buying mindfully, and doing seasonal refreshes, you create a powerful, multi-layered system that stops clutter from taking over. Remember, this is a journey of progress, not a destination of perfection. The goal is to create a home that is a source of calm and energy, a space that truly serves you and allows you to focus on what matters most. What is your biggest clutter challenge right now? And which of these habits are you most excited to try first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading them and we can all learn from each other. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe for more practical tips on simple living, and share it with anyone who might need it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.